Welcome back to another episode of Joe the Show podcast, episode 6. If you haven't heard or listened to any of the previous 5 episodes, I recommend go checking those out. This podcast is 15 minutes of takes covering all topics of sports, music, movies, TV series, anything that comes to mind that I feel like discussing is solely for debate purposes and just creating takes on my own. Today, we're going to start with um, a little bit of sports, um, specifically the WNBA. The WNBA just had their All Star game this Sunday. Um, Very entertaining game, very entertaining All Star week. I've been a huge watcher of the WNBA the last 3 or 4 years. If I had to pick a favorite right now, I would have to go with the Las Vegas Aces, solely because I think literally every woman in their starting five is a beast to me. Derek Hamby, Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young. I don't think you get any better starting five than that. But follow right behind them. I kind of got a tie right now between the Sky and the Storm. They're both they're two balanced teams as well. I expect this playoffs this year to be one of the best ones yet, if not the best. Um, and as far as the WNBA, I really advocate if you're a fan of basketball to really watch because just solely focus on the NBA, I feel like it's not a good thing if you're really trying to improve your basketball skills. From watching WNBA, I feel like you get to watch skill above athleticism because these are women that's not trying to drive to the paint every single moment and trying to pound the rock and dunk on everybody, or they're trying to just jump out of the ceiling. I mean, jump out of the arena and make spectacular plays. But you have some athletic women who just use the athleticism, but the skill is what separates them, in my opinion, because the passing, the shooting, and the team ball that all of these teams, from top to bottom, all 12 of the WNBA teams, that they showcase every time they go out and perform. So I really advocate WNBA. I stand behind them. Also, free Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner. Hopefully, she comes home soon. And on to the next topic. I recently just watched Thor. If you don't know, I'm a huge Marvel fan. Marvel and DC, but Marvel puts on better performances in my opinion. Um, Thor, Love and Thunder, um, great movie, but I do think it wasn't it wasn't that spectacular. I think it's probably if I had to rank all of the Thor movies, I think it's slow. It's at the bottom in my opinion. I have to go Ragnarok, Dark World, Thor, and then Love and Thunder. And then I also think it's probably the worst Marvel movie that they put out so far. Probably even Marvel Project if you include all the series. Um, it's not that it's a terrible movie, but when you expect a Marvel film or a comic book film, I expected a lot more action. I felt like we got a few action scenes, but they just weren't. They just didn't capture my mind. Prime example is obviously the Spider-Man films. They incorporate, 3 different Spider-Mans, but the action sequences in that movie when all 3 Spider-Man are located in one scene going against 6 other villains, and then you had the epic fight between Tom Holland and Green Goblin of old at the end, like that. It had enough action, and it also had the depth of heartfelt scenes and uh, you know showcasing all of what superheroes can bring you when it comes to uh, a movie like that. But Thor, like I said, it wasn't a terrible movie. If I had to rank it out of 10, I would probably say 7.5. Um, it was a solid movie to watch, but it wasn't as great as any other Marvel project that's probably came out this year. Which which is a tall task to stand up to, being that Spider Man, Doctor Strange, and you know, uh, Morbius. There's a few. I think and then they had the TV series as well. So it wasn't a terrible movie. But I think it's not one that people should rush to the theater and see. I honestly would wait until it gets on one of these streaming services and watch it at home, because it was okay, but wasn't what I thought. But I am intrigued by where the next film is going, without giving any spoilers. The next story film, I think, could probably be the best one yet, and I think will actually showcase Thor, God of Thunder, what he's really about. Um, On to the next topic. Music, music. Now, there's a whole debate about who's king of this genre, king of that genre. Um, I listen to every genre of music, but today, or I should say, yeah, today I should focus. I'm focusing primarily on R&B. You had Chris Brown drop maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Brent Fires dropped the previous Friday. Uh, I think there's a few other artists in between that have dropped. I think Giveon dropped, I think, the same day as Chris Brown. And so there's a debate about who's king of R&B. My opinion, I will always go with Chris Brown. And when I'm saying king of R&B, I'm specifically talking about 2010 moving forward. Even though Chris Brown came before 2010, I would say 2010 moving forward, because I like to separate. Anytime I'm talking about sports or music or anything in general, I like to go by decades. So from 2010 moving forward, I feel like Chris Brown has carried the throne of R&B, and now he's just extending his reign into the 2020s. However, Brent Fayez, very good album, very good album. To me, if I had to say of all the young and upcoming R&B artists, and by upcoming I mean upcoming mainstream artists whose names are finally being recognized, I feel like Brent Fayez is the one to stand out. He has the vocals of like a 90 R&B artist, and like his music is just very smooth in my opinion. Like there's no wrong with him. Like literally every song he puts out is a message behind it, and every album he's put out, in my opinion, has been great. All of them, if I had to rank them, 8 out of 10 plus. Like he hasn't had a bad album in my opinion. But like I said, I think Chris Brown is still on top. But guys like Brent Fayez, maybe even a Bryson Tiller, if he starts to increase his output, and Giveon, he has a great voice as well. Outside of the BET performance that people want to clown him for, like Giveon's projects undeniably are good. Um, yeah, artists like Blue. There's a few other people that I feel like once Chris Brown takes a step back, I feel like R&B will be in a great position to sort of take a leap and reinsert itself in terms of the mainstream music. Another project that came out a few weeks ago that I haven't had a chance to talk about was Drake's album. I know Drake is my favorite artist, so I'm definitely gonna be biased, but I also can be real with it as well. It was not an album that I expected, but once I hit play on the first song and then the next track played, I got a feeling of what kind of album it's gonna be, and I just set my expectations to where that was how it was for the rest of the album. And yeah, it's not the typical Drake that we always get that gives you the rap, gives you the R&B classics, but good project all in all. Like I said, I feel like I've told many people, I feel like this project, literally, you if you ever been to any kind of kickback, small party, small gatherings, and you have the responsibility, not necessarily DJing, because you're not scratching tapes or anything, but you're solely responsible for the playlist, like you putting on the music. I feel like this is a perfect album where you can literally start from track one and let it play all the way through, and people will be sufficed to the music that's going on, because it's very safe music. There's not nothing that on here that's gonna you know make people be violent or cause any cause any hospitality or anything like that. Um, so yeah, great album from Drake, great album from Chris Brown, Giveon, Brent Fayez. Those four projects are the main ones I've been listening to lately. Um, Give me if you are listening to this and you have any music recommendations, comment down below. I can share some with you guys as well. Um, Now back to sports right quick. Um, NBA. If you don't know, I'm a Lakers fan. The Lakers are in speculation of getting Kyrie Irving, which I think is great. And I like Westbrook. I don't feel like Westbrook. It was all on Westbrook in the 2021-22 season. I didn't feel like it was all on him. However, the fit alongside LeBron to me is never gonna work. One, they're both not tremendous shooters, and in Westbrook's case, he's probably the worst shooter in terms of stardom. And you you need spacing on the floor, especially if you want AD to play the five. You're gonna need spacing on the floor to allow AD to dominate in the paint and allow LeBron to drive to the paint, penetrate to the paint. So Westbrook for Kyrie would definitely be increase the odds of the Lakers of winning the championship. And LeBron definitely, not saying he slowed down in terms of his play, but he's definitely slowing down in durability. So we don't know how long he has to play. So you have to expand all options and push all chips to the table, in my opinion, to get Kyrie, pair him with Westbrook. I mean, with LeBron and Anthony Davis. The summer league is also going on in the NBA. I haven't really watched it as much as I'm accustomed to this year. I've been looking at a few highlights of some of the uh, recognizable picks in the draft. Ben Carroll, he's been looking good this year. Uh, Jabari Smith, he's looked good. Like I said, I'm a Lakers fan, so I've been watching Scottie Pippen Jr. He's looked good. The Warriors, all their young guys look good. Kaminga, Moody, Wiseman, all those guys look good. Keegan Murray looks good. So yeah, there's a few guys that are staying out in the summer league so far. Um, so yeah, hopefully I will drop this episode um, in time for the summer league championship, the way I can discuss who I think is gonna win that. Um, Thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for giving this a listen. Um, Drop anything in the comments that you would like me to discuss or you want to debate with me. I'm open for debate, open for criticism. I'm trying to drop 3 times a week. So moving forward, so you guys can be getting more content. We can start more takes. Like I said, 15 minutes of podcasts. Um, you know, I just want to just develop a platform where people can discuss and not just discuss with themselves in the comment section, but discuss with the creator who's putting out the content. So thank you guys. Leave a like, drop a comment. Peace out.